it going everyone? My name is Fordivo and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get all of the upgraded bastard swords and all 4 incantations for each element. There will be timestamps in the description, so if you want to find a specific part, you will be able to do so. Just to make one thing clear, I won't be referring to the swords by their actual names. In an attempt to make the guide easier to follow, I will be saying their names based on the animals that are seen on the suits of armor. And to clarify, this is not an optimization guide on how to make getting them easier, it's just to show you how to get. Each section will start with the sword, followed by the corresponding incantation. I will make a map guide and I'll be putting out an Easter egg guide as soon as I can, so stay tuned for that. Also, at any point, if my friends help me figure out something with these guides, I will be sure to shout that out, as they took the time to prove things for me while I was working on other things. Also, be sure to get the augments for melee macchiato that allow you to swing melee weapons faster and that heal you to make certain parts of this guide easier. Now with all that waffle out of the way, let's begin. In order to gain access to the swords, work your way into the castle and progress through to round 10. After turning on the PAP machine, go and interact with this door in the dungeon near Quick Revive in order to unlock the ability to upgrade the swords by talking to KRAFFT. During and after round 10, a special zombie will spawn in during the round wearing a knight's helmet. He is immune to headshots, so just body shot him to kill him and he will drop a stamp. You can only carry one stamp at a time, but you can get a stamp, unlock a sword, then leave it there to collect another stamp and unlock another sword. You don't have to commit to the sword you unlock, so work on them in whatever order you like. The first sword we're going to work on is the Raven sword. It is best to get the sword done early in the game as it involves a lot of standing around. Firstly, grab the sword from the statue with the raven, then come into the alchemist lab. We're looking for one of 5 fossils or bones that can be found in this area. The first is the twin raven skulls that can be found on this shelf here. Next is the scorpion fossil, which can be found on this table here. Next is the horn fossil, which can be found here. The fish fossil can be found right here. And finally, the jawbone, which can be found right here. Once you've located your correct bone or fossil, head all the way back to spawn and enter the bar. Go downstairs and you'll see a mechanism on the wall beside the crafting table. Pull out the sword, then hold interact on the mechanism to place the bone, then hold interact again to place the sword in the hole in the wall. When the sword is in, interact with the wall and you'll be able to rotate 2 wheels. One contains the elemental symbols from BO4 zombies and the other contains the symbols for the star signs. On screen now is a screenshot of each of the solutions for each of the fossils. Choose the correct solution for your fossil, which will cause a portal to open somewhere in the room behind you. Stand near the portal and you'll notice the mechanism sending out purple orbs towards you. You need to guide the orbs into the portal by standing behind it as they fly at you. Be careful as you can still be hit during this. Once they're over it, they will be sucked in. After 3 have been sucked in the bottom area, the portal will move upstairs to the main floor of the bar. Repeat the same step again, sucking in 3 more orbs. The portal will move one more time to the upstairs part near the pool table. Repeat the step once more, and the portal will go back down to the mechanism. Interact with the mechanism and the sword will be sucked in before floating back up. You now have a full power raven sword. In order to get the dark incantation, first come to the tunnel slide located here beside the pack-a-punch. I would highly recommend having a long range bullet weapon for this due to the next step. Activate the slide and pay attention to the final corner on the right side near the end. You'll see a raven perched on the rock here. Shoot it to scare it out of the tunnel. You'll shoot out the other side and land at the bar. Look up to the sky and you'll see the raven flying around. Shoot it out of the sky and it will drop a raven's claw. Take this claw down to the undercroft and a gold sign will spawn on the ground. Interact with it and the claw will be suspended. Get kills in the area using any weapon. It does not have to be the sword. After enough kills, the portal will flash and a chest will come up out of the ground. Hit this chest with your sword and you now have the dark incantation. Next is the lion sword. The best time to do this is during a vermin round, as you need to kill parasites that have a golden glow. Come to the staircase where Speakola is and wait for the gold parasites to spawn. When you see one, kill it. You'll know you've done this right because the sword will glow gold. Then come to this door with a lion knocker, swing the sword and a symbol will appear on the door. You have to hit the door with the sword. Repeat this 3 more times so there are 4 symbols on the door. Interact with the door to make the knocker knock and you'll be teleported into a small tunnel. Kill any zombies inside, then pull out the sword and interact with the pedestal. The sword will be placed inside it and 4 symbols will start floating around the area. A symbol will also spawn on the pedestal. Shoot the symbol on the wall that corresponds to the one on the pedestal. It will float into the sword. Repeat this 3 more times and you will be given the full power lion sword. In order to get the light incantation, come to the room where the knights holding the swords are found. Look above the vulture aid machine from the door coming from Juggernog and you'll see a red crystal over the machines. Shoot this crystal and a beam will shoot out. The beam won't be focused, so stand underneath it and shoot the crystal again. This will focus the beam. A new one will be shooting out from the next crystal. Stand under it and shoot it until you focus it. Repeat this the whole way through until you get back into the alchemist lab. The final beam will shoot onto a bust of a woman on the table. The paladin's brooch will spawn out of it. Collect it, then come to this wall in the dining hall beside the door, and the gold portal will spawn in again. Interact with it to place the brooch in, then get kills in the area. When it's done, the portal will flash and the chest will spawn in. Hit it with the sword and you now have the light incantation. Next, we will do the stag sword. Collect the sword and make sure you have dead wire on your gun. We're going to be collecting 3 lightning rods, 2 of which can be found within the map, 1 must be dropped by a zombie. Come to the staircase beside the speed cola machine, take out your gun with dead wire and shoot this electrical box. The first lightning rod will be dropped onto the stairs. Next, come over to the Deadshot daiquiri machine, and nestled in between the barrels and crates beside it is the second rod. Myself, Adam and PJ have all done significant testing on this in order to bring you the most accurate and consistent way to get the third rod. After collecting the sword, come into the dungeon and hoard up what zombies you have and then start killing them. The weapon doesn't matter, but within either the same round or the following round, the special armoured zombie that carries the rod will spawn. Do not pick up any nukes as this could cause the zombie to die before fully spawning in or dying outside the map, meaning the rod will be trapped out of bounds until another version of the zombie spawns in at a later round. This is the absolute best way to guarantee the spawn of the third rod. Once you've collected all 3 rods, come out to the castle ramparts and go up the side with elemental pop, and you'll see out on the ramparts a sealed pot with 4 slots on it. Interact with it to place all the rods in, they will start to spin, then pull out the sword. A lightning storm will now occur over the ramparts and you must get kills with the sword within the storm. After about 10 kills, the sword will be struck by lightning. Come over to the pot and hit the rods with the sword to transfer the electric charge. Repeat this twice more and the rods will stop spinning. Insert the sword and after a few seconds, the sword will be converted to the upgraded stag sword. In order to get the lightning incantation, come to the barn here and look over this door. You'll see a horseshoe on the wall. Shoot it so it falls, then pick it up. Next, come to the cannon on top of the castle ramparts and interact with it to be shot straight back to spawn. Look up to the left and right to look for a lightning storm. The horseshoe will now be lying here underneath the storm and will be charged. Collect it again and come to this wall beside the door that leads out of spawn towards Deadshot and interact with the gold portal to place the horseshoe. Get kills in the area again to make the portal flash and spawn in the chest. Hit the chest with the sword to get the lightning incantation. Finally, the easiest sword to upgrade, the dragon sword. Collect the sword, then come to the top of the stairs beside Jug and place the sword inside the pedestal under the dragon head. 3 braziers around the map will now be lit with fire. 1 can be found just behind the gate leading to Deadshot, 1 can be found here at the back of spawn, and 1 can be found on the castle ramparts on the melee macchiato side. When you interact with a brazier, it will be set on fire. You will take damage during this, but killing zombies will fully restore your health. You must run all the way back to the sword and interact with it to make the dragon breathe fire on it. You'll run much faster while you're on fire, so haul ass as fast as you can back to the sword, killing zombies when needed to refill your health. Do this for all 3 braziers and the sword will be fully upgraded. To get the fire incantation, craft 3 molotovs, then come out to the castle ramparts. You must light 3 piles of wood on fire in order to spawn in a doppelgast that will drop an ankh. The first pile of wood is located here over the elemental pop room. The second is located up here directly across from the cannon. The third is located here on the area that overlooks Speed Cola just outside the rampart walls. Throw a Molotov at each of these, then kill the zombies that spawn. After all 3 are lit, a doppelgast will spawn in. Kill it and collect the ankh it drops. Come to the spot in the courtyard, place the ankh in the gold portal, get kills in the area to spawn the chest, then hit the chest with the sword to get the fire incantation. And that's it. That is how you get all of the upgraded swords and the incantations for each one. If this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like as it helps people find the channel for the first time. Feel free as well to subscribe and turn on the bell to be notified when I upload. Have a nice day, and as always, I will see you all in my next video, but until then, bye for now.